We cannot help but cite the memorable line by the late American education reformer Horace Mann that, and I quote, "Education, then beyond all other devices of human origin, is the great equalizer of the conditions of man." And I close quote. When we educate people, we fit them out with the intellectual and cognitive tools and means, not only to understand their world, their lived social experience, but also to change it.
Cape Town is a magnificent city. Its breathtaking beauty, colorful culture grows out of its rich, multicultural, multi-ethnic, interfaith community that includes Cape Malays, Indians, mixed-race people who are called coloreds, Xhosa-speaking blacks, Afrikaner, French and English-speaking whites, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Christians. All make up the mosaic of Cape Town. Well, today it's winter 2011, and guess what? I'm back. I'm back here primarily as an observer with the National Education Association's 100-member delegation to Education International's conference. The 6th annual conference is held right here at Cape Town's Convention Center, where 17 years ago I was here getting training as a United Nations election observer. I'm here for another reason. I'm here because my Columbia College television students gave me some homework. They said, capture images of Cape Town and the Congress and do it in a cool way that would inspire them to edit it. I interviewed a South African teacher and his student from the Eastern Cape. I videotaped an Indian family in the colored township of Athlone discussing the 1985 Trojan Horse Massacre of kids by the then all-white apartheid government. 1985. Perhaps the most interesting story to my students, though, occurred when a National Education Association member named Kevin Naiker, who's a psychologist in the Baltimore area, he teaches at Baltimore County Community College, asked me if I would check on his son, Kurt. Apparently, Kurt quit the University of Maryland Eastern Shores, a historically black college where he was studying music management, to head to his parents' ancestral town of Manenberg, Cape Town, South Africa. Well, guess what? Kurt has become a rapper. How cool is that? He and his group, G2K, have created an intelligent new form of rap that rarely puts down women or ethnic groups. Here's Kurt's story in his own words.
My name is Kurt Naiker. I'm 23. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. I was raised in Washington, D.C. or around Maryland, Columbia, Maryland, between PG and different parts of Maryland, actually.
All struggle to grab it like mathematics. We all are addicted to
I started to get into a little bit of trouble. That was, I guess, selling drugs and things like that. So I decided to go to school. My parents told me, listen, you like what you're doing so much, you know what I mean? Use it as a business.
pull the rabbit out of his hat, trying to convince you that magic is a fact.
I was with a few friends and they had pretty much drugs on them, so we all got in trouble. I was actually given like a day in jail or something like that. In that day in jail, I found out, listen, there was some trouble with my visa because after the age of 18, the thing is, my parents had my sister in America, so their citizenship was covered. My brother was still under them, but once you're past 18, then you're on your own. So what happened was, the judge or the international judge told me, listen, he doesn't really want to deport me. That's not because of the fact that I grew up there. So the judge said, okay, I have voluntary departure. Voluntary departure is pretty much, listen, I can go in and out of the country on my own terms. Now he told me I can apply for citizenship when I come back.
I can't take it. I hate you all and I can't fake it.
In school, I was doing business and marketing and advertisement as a minor. Because of growing up in America and having that college experience, that a lot of places here looked at me as the, I guess, the height of what they could have in their employees.
Paralyzed by the waste.
I'd always rapped as a hobby for me and my friends, Matt and Daniel and John, and we'd pretty much drink a little bit and rap to each other, and it became a hobby. It was like fun. So we actually recorded a disc that was just like something for us to remember it by. So while I was in South Africa, I realized that disc actually came with me. So I played it to someone and they said, you know what, you're actually good. You can do this. One day, I met Gershwin, and Gershwin told me he actually produces his own beats, and he's a producer and things like that. I listened to Gershwin's beats. We actually became friends. He listened to a lot of the stuff that I had done before. He also listened to a lot of the music I had on my iPod. So we found common ground. As we found common ground, we pretty much found each other, and it came to the point where I still took this hobby as a game, and Gershwin told me, listen, this is his life. This is what he wants to do. I got into rapping with Gershwin, and he told me, listen, I have faith in you that you're going to actually help me to get back overseas. I'm going to get you home. So I told him, you know what, as much faith as you have in me, I have in you. And it's like we became partners, or even better yet, like brothers, because it was almost like you'd always see us together, inseparable. So rapping became now, instead of a hobby, it became like a lifestyle. I went from, I don't want to say living like a good life, but we went through a struggle a little bit in our time, and I became, I became something I really wasn't, like an alter ego type thing. And in becoming that alter ego, it kind of stuck with me. It was like a mask I could put on at any time. Like, okay, myself, now I'm a soft, cool guy. But now seeing me, people think, okay, now he's intimidating and things like that. So that mask, like, I guess my name also on the stage is Curtis James. That became like an identity that I could identify with. Like, if I felt pressured or in trouble or in a situation where I could always rely on that mask. Gershwin kind of helped me control that, where you could say, hey, listen, today we're gonna rap a song about this. Now I can tell myself, listen, in having the education that I did in America, this is what we want to do. We want to bring, I guess, educated rap to South Africa. As I get older, I learn more about myself, learn different ways to express myself. And one thing as a kid, I guess bad behavior was one way where I would express myself because I was hungry for attention. But now it seems as though in growing up, I have enough attention where I've matured out of that stage and out of that state of mind. So I just pretty much, yeah, that's Kurt Naiker. That's who I am. I'm a part of G2K as well. Why I think it matters to anyone, why it should, is because sometimes people take a path in life that they think is right. But now what happens is I feel as though I've been on that path. I can help other people to realize, you know, that's not a path you want to be on. I wish it's almost like to say there's a four-way there, but there's no stop signs. I want to be that stop sign there to tell the person, listen, stop here, wait for a second. To an extent, I want to bring that back to my home, because South Africa is where I was born, and I can see here some of the resources and the things we have in America aren't really utilized here. We want to utilize those things and do it effectively, so that the next state of youth, or the next, I guess, guys to come up, we've influenced them. But yeah, that's Kurt Naiker, and I guess, yeah, that's me.
Don't even think about coming to see G2K. You better understand you gotta turn away, cause you know we about to be up in the sky. We higher than a star. You feel us where you are. Yo, it's funny how money can change everything. Yeah, it's funny how money can change everything. Said it's funny how money can change everything. I hope this isn't one of those forever things. Yo, it's funny how money can change everything. Said it's funny how money can change everything. Ain't it funny how